Marcus Ambrose in search of his first career NASCAR win. Robbie Gordon behind him.
Robbie Gordon to the inside for the lead.
Ambrose goes back on him. Who is leading the race? When did the caution come out?
Black flag me after the race. I'm staying here.
They are putting the black flag up for Robbie Gordon. And indeed, Gordon will hit Ambrose.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Marcus Ambrose, your leader, having trouble.
He goes too fast into pit lane, has to serve a pass-through penalty. Despite all this, Marcus is in third.
You know, we've dominated the race twice here in 2 years and haven't closed the deal, so I'm just bitterly disappointed. You know, I feel a little robbed. You know, we dominated today's race. What can you say?
And for the third year in a row, Marcus Ambrose is dominating. He's led the most laps again, already at 35 and counting, but there is weather on the way. We looked at the radar, and there is a chance that we could get wet again, as we see it right there. Each one of those lines is 10 miles, so they're about 30 miles and now 20 with that one cell where it's bright yellow is the one we're keeping our eye on, as boy, it would not want to see that happen. These guys have raced too hard today. Here is Marcus, and boy, he has done very, very well. We mentioned earlier about how he has finished no lower than third in the last 4 Nationwide Series road course events. In fact, today, he's now led the most laps in 3 of the last 4 Nationwide Series road course races.
He's got to be feeling pretty good right now. He's got plenty of fuel in that car. He doesn't have a dent in it. He's in great shape and leading this race right now, but he's got Andrew Ranger alongside of him. And we saw some previous videos that Andrew Ranger is a pretty aggressive driver, and there's really no love lost between these two drivers.
Let's get an update from Dave Burns.
As they're coming to green, Marty just found out that those spring rubbers, we said they jammed into the rear springs to help the car not roll so much. Well, they didn't do that. And guess what? Marco stopped complaining. He's still leading the race. They never put him in, guys.
Okay. Great story. Let's update 3 other cars. Brad Coleman did not serve his penalty. They're moving him to the rear, so he's going to lose about 15 spots. He was 15th when we brought him out of commercial. Now he's going back to the back of the field. That'll put him 25th. Also, Jason Leffler to the rear because he pitted when the pit lane was closed. And also Jason Keller for a penalty as well, as he is going to restart at the rear of this field. So pace truck pulls off. Ambrose in the 47. Alongside is Mr. Andrew Ranger. Can he get his first ever Nationwide Series win in his 6th start? We're about to find out as we are getting ready to run lap number 51 of 74 here at Montreal. Oh boy, does Ambrose really slow Carl down. And Ranger is the loser on that deal because he knew he had to stay behind first place coming across the line.
Shape there. He's right on Ambrose.
And he nudges him.
Inside. It'll be a drag race down through here. Looks like Carl's got the advantage.
And he used the chrome horn. Will it work? Down into the corner. He's got the preferred line. Hang on. Here we go. Now it's back in the favor of the 47. They're rubbing door to door.
Oh, man, that was a great race through those 2 corners. Marcus Ambrose got out with the lead.
And look at Kyle Busch. He's trying to work his way around Andrew Ranger right behind him. Here comes the 09 underneath. You saw that, as that is Boris said. He's got a position as he gets around Paul Menard. J.R. Fitzpatrick a little bit further back.
And these guys have got to drive hard right now because 23 laps to go.
Speaking of driving hard, looks like Stephen Wallace is off in the gravel.
A little too hard.
Whoa.
Maybe going around a little bit more. That's going to cost him quite a few spots. Meanwhile, up front, it is still Ambrose in front of Edwards. Then it's Ranger. There's Kyle. Look at this. This is a battle for positions. Menard's trying to come back. Kyle lights him up.
Man, he is pushing hard. Kyle Busch is in that 18.
Barset gets underneath the 98. There's J.R. Fitzpatrick in the 33. Brendan Gaughan saying, get me out of this.
Well, Menard and Barset are going at it right here. They've been racing side by side for almost this whole lap. Menard gets the advantage.
Yeah, Gaughan got a little too wide there. He is running for position there. He is not a lap down, so he is running in 9th place right now. Coming through there is Boris still holding off Fitzpatrick, but he gave the position back to Menard. So here they come.
On the entry to turn 6, just be careful getting in there.
Now you hear there's some gravel down there in turn 6. That's where Stephen Wallace went off the racetrack.
Jacques Villeneuve, 32, goes underneath. Can he make his thing on? You want to talk about some dirt tracking?
Listen to the crowd. Caution is out for that debris over there.
Yep, and here we come to our 7th caution here on lap number 53 of 74.
Villeneuve, he restarted in 13th place. He's up to 8th after just a lap or so of green. You could hear the fans really cheering for him.
Ambrose is saying, oh, not another caution. Let me go and hide from all these guys.
No, there's the gravel.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess you could call that a little bit of debris.
That's a lot of gravel right there.
Now, NASCAR has been accused of throwing those phantom cautions. Well, there's no phantom about that one.
Stephen was right in position to get that lucky dog. Look at him. He's just upset. Doggone it. I was so close.
Actually, it looks like it will go to Stanton Barrett.
Looks like he's talking to
Yeah, he's talking on the radio. He's telling them what happened here.
He's just frustrated right now.
Well, he finished in the top 10 here last year. Here's what happened, and this is why all the gravel ends up out on the corner.
Gets in the throttle and just gets that thing too far around, trying to get the thing back on the track. Should have kind of just got out of it a little easier, but I tell you, when you get stuck in that gravel and you slow down too much, it'll just dump you right in and lock you down in there. He didn't want that to happen.
As he rides off in the cloud of dust.
Well, Andy, 22 laps to go. Do cautions breed cautions now this late in the race?
Well, it looks like everybody's temperature's coming up and the intensity level comes up.
Well, I know it's a kiss of death if I bring it up, but we really have not had any major deals into turn 1 and 2. We've had a few minor, incidents where guys have gotten loose, gotten turned a little bit, but we haven't had the big one, like we had 2 years ago here where we had like a 5-6 car stack up.
There's still time.
I know. That's why I said it's probably the kiss of death.
Yeah, 22 laps is a long way to go. It really is, and so. Well, he's not over, that's for sure.
The other thing is, we're not sure what NASCAR would do if we get rain at this point. We're past the halfway mark. If you're a crew chief, you got to be thinking about what if we get the rain and they just say, hey, we're not going to make everybody make all those changes. We'll call the race like we did last year, short of 74 laps.
Yeah, we haven't heard from NASCAR what they're going to do, and with that being an unknown with the crew chiefs, all you can do is just race with what you have, and that's a dry racetrack right now. And if that happens, then they have to just NASCAR has to make that call.
It's going to take a while to change these things over from a dry condition to a wet condition. We're past halfway. We all know that past halfway is an official race for NASCAR. Guys, I'd have a hard time believing this late in the race they'd come in and change these cars all over. I think they'd call it a race. But you know what? I have been wrong many times.
Well, we mentioned the fact that Stan Barrett would get the lucky dog to get back around. There is your top 5. We'll step aside for a quick break here at Montreal. We're under our record-setting 7th caution.